Welcome back, local frenemies. We're 757 Talk Time, episode 34 here. We got our post-draft grades for our local league, and you can, if you're not in the local league, just listen up. We're going to trash talk. We're going to give some round of applause to some and some boo to some guys in their draft process. But it's fun. The guys wanted this podcast ASAP. But let's get rolling here, man. Let's just go to it. Our post-draft power rankings or grading here.
Yeah, we're gonna give you guys some grades. So we're gonna play Todd and Mel again here.
Oh, yes, Todd. I'm Mel Kiper with the hat.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. We're gonna kind of go in order of how we would rank these guys. So if you guys want to know where you're ranked, that'd be kind of the consensus, and then you'll kind of hear our grades on what we thought you guys did in the draft. And mine's not just your draft, but it's also going into the year. So like I'm not going to take as much into account of what you already have. Like I'm just going to look at your whole roster and say this team is better than kind of like a power rankings would be for the upcoming season. So go ahead and start us with number one there, Chris.
All right, number one, man, highly ranked here. I think it happens every season, but Phil, my mentee.
Always,
Phil,
man. Why you got to be so good, Phil?
I know, man. I gave you an A. I
gave you an A+, so I mean we're on the same page here. He just completely it's the top of his roster is just always so stacked. I mean, he's going to have Kamara, Josh Jacobs. I think it was a little bit of a reach there, but if he turns out to be what he's supposed to be, then he's got Jacobs, Aaron Jones, he's got Stephon Diggs.
I'm high on Galladay. Vance
you know what? I'm looking at this.
Got to get the catches there.
I'm making a
by AB.
in podcast pivot here.
Ooh,
You're going down to an A-. I really don't think it's as amazing as I first glanced. You're going to have a lot on Alvin Kamara, and like you've got two risky running backs. If they come through, then yes, that A+ will hold. I'll be wrong, and you actually did have an amazing draft. I'm just a little scared of your. You have three really good running backs, but two of them, Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones, come with a lot of risk.
Yeah, because it's just not proven, but I love the upside to it. Let's jump to our number two guy here. I gave an A, you gave him an A.
Yep.
That is the Reverend himself, David Kalana.
David.
Shout out to David. I heard
Great.
you preach on Sunday. Phenomenal. So convicted in the pew.
Such a good man.
Such a good man.
All right, so
very good drafter.
yeah, I mean, he got a little bit of help over the last couple of days here.
Sure did.
So Zeke is going to play, which is dramatically changing his team. Really, it all comes down to your top two players there. You have Zeke, easily has a great chance to be the number one running back. You have Devontae Adams, easily has a chance to be the number one wide receiver. And then on top of that, you got Sony Michel as your running back 2, and then your wide receiver 2 is Robert Woods. Those are two guys that I think have upside to be ones in their categories. So your starting lineup is just going to be nasty. Another pivot here. You're getting an A+.
Pivot to the positive.
Yeah, A+. So I would go David, Phil. That's how mine would go.
Ooh,
So.
I want to get back to work. I'm going to throw that at him. We flipped you guys. Fight now. I love it there. I got to echo what you said, David. It was really good. Robert Woods doesn't get the love.
Yeah.
Just because he
I
shares
wanted
the
him.
ball
I was
in that
so
offense,
pissed.
but he doesn't get enough love that he deserves, and that's
Yep.
why I love the draft from David, because he was given two great keepers and he filled in the RB2 wide receiver 2 perfectly with his draft position because he didn't have the first two picks.
Yep.
Those are third or fourth round pickups.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so number 3 here, I have Joe, the runner-up last year in the league. We had a shout out to Jake Seeley, and he was mentioning to us the guys that he liked, and Joe was one of the teams that he was really impressed with the roster.
You had to work so hard, Joe, in this draft when you started with Christian McCaffrey and David Johnson in round 1 and 2 somehow, which is amazing. So, he drafted a great team last year, which gave him this opportunity to keep those two players. That's really what it comes down to. It doesn't even matter what the rest of your roster is. If you got those two guys, you're starting in a fantastic place. Like you have to me, locked in 2 RB1s.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's a great PPR receiver.
Yep.
The only thing he needs is health. If he's healthy, phenomenal there.
The only thing I will say about your team, Joe, I know you're probably as afraid as we are, but your tight ends are kind of gross. So you got Eric Ebron and TJ Hawkinson. You're going to need to have that hit in a big way that I don't think it will. So I think tight end is kind of your weakness is what you're looking at.
Yeah, so I gave you B. Sean gave you an A.
Yep.
And at 4, we're going turtle. We got
The
Daniel.
Turtles.
He's over there with I got a B. You gave him a B+. You really liked his draft there. But Turtles, man, I'm a huge fan of Mixon and a huge fan of Carson. I was mad at you on draft night.
I know. I wanted
when
Carson.
Carson came around and you took him, and I was like, and then I think I reacted too fast.
That's when I tilted and I took
Godwin.
George Kittle.
But DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, we're talking about the Rams receivers.
Yeah.
It's just great. O.J. Howard, if it puts it all together, you got a better coach there. He's jumping up, but I love your flex. Another one that
Miles
you
Sanders,
didn't really
yeah.
rob. We were kind of close in the draft, but this is just how good our league is. Guys were doing their homework, and Miles Sanders is
He's
going to
gonna
be a
be good.
darling of a pick.
Yep. I kind of was like looking through. I was like, who's got Miles Sanders? I'm feeling really good about. It's not me. It's Daniel.
It's Daniel Jones. Darn Daniel. Darn Turtle.
So maybe the Turtles rise this year.
Oh, rising up. What's that song?
Number
I can't
5 here.
Ooh,
We
this
got
is weird,
the
but-
man who's missing here, Ryan Meckes.
remember. Ryan Mex. I gave him a C. You gave him a B plus.
Yeah, I really think he's got a good opportunity here. I'm not a giant fan of Le'Veon Bell, but when you're talking about him being your RB2, I'm not going to complain. He's got Le'Veon Bell and James Conner. I love to shore up those running backs, and he's got 2 great ones. I think that his wide receivers are serviceable. I know this is kind of where you think his team falls apart a little.
You know, with those 2 great keepers, I felt like he just did really lazy the rest of the draft.
Yeah.
Like the keepers are what's going to get him over there and keep him in contention every week because they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you could have done better at the other positions here.
I
like Baker, but I'm like looking at receiver stuff, especially the Josh Gordon and Edelman.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that, but I think that the Josh Gordon gives him the upside of being that wide receiver 1. And then Julian Edelman and Jarvis, to me, when you have 2 top running backs, you need points weekly that you're assured of. And
Right.
that's what those 2 receivers are. You're just going to get 10 points guaranteed pretty much every week from those 2 guys, I think.
And he's got a horrible flex option.
Yeah,
Kalen
that's
Balazs
where it falls
predicted for
apart a
6
little
points,
bit.
But then the bench, there's not much you can put
He's probably
there.
going to be starting 2 Patriots is what it
He's
looks
probably going
like.
to have to put Gordon at that flex.
Yep.
You probably don't want it because you play him week 1.
No.
But moving to number 6 here, I put the commiss Sean. I think he had a pretty good draft
Yeah, so
there.
for this
Both
spot-
gave a grade B.
We'll mention that in our power rankings, we have me, then we have Chris, then we have Tim. I think they're all in that clump. I don't know if I could really say one
The
is.
doctor's right there with us. It
Yeah,
is really tough.
I gave all 3 of us a B.
Yeah.
Back to if we want to start with my team, I guess go ahead. Give me a grade here. Give me an analysis.
I gave you a grade B there. You had a good keeper in Dalvin Cook there, and Julio Jones. Again, getting a Rams receiver in that offense. Cooks is a great pickup there. Love Kittle.
Woods, though.
Went a little high. Worried about Tevin Coleman a little bit.
Yeah.
Alshon's a great flex option.
Yeah.
People aren't giving him respect there. And then you got guys to move around down on the bench. To watch.
My big weakness
Tavius Murray, those guys.
is going to be running back. I've got my RB1 locked up in Galvin Cook, but my running back 2 is completely up for grabs. This is a scary team for me. I went with Kittle. Somebody's got to talk me off the ledge with this because I was freaking out, and he's a great value at that point, but I don't like what it does to my team when I take a tight end that high. And what happened is my running back 2 suffered. I think I've more over the last few years came to the realization that you can do this 0 RB type of thing, and that's more what my team's looking like. With take out Dalvin Cook, that's kind of what my team's looking like. I have some good wide receivers, I think, but my running back, I'm gonna have to find one. So,
And then right below Sean, let's put Tim there. I like Tim better. I gave him a better grade than myself, so I'm pivoting on there.
Okay.
Bringing the doctor up. He and I were sitting next to each other on draft night, and there were some tough decisions had to be made there.
Yeah.
But I think he did really well with what he had to do. I mean, he kept Barkley there, kept Kelsey, but upside of Montgomery out of Chicago.
that's big upside, man. It
Huge
could be-
upside there. Aaron Rodgers is a great pickup. Look, Chicago receivers are always iffy for me, but if there's got to be one, it's Allen Robinson.
Yep.
And then Marlon Mack's going to get the ball a lot. His touchdowns might be down, but he's going to be running the ball a lot there in Indianapolis.
So I
it's
think-
a great flex option.
I think I have some breaking news here. As you watch this, Tim, we need to trade because you are the opposite of my team. You are stacked at running back right now.
He is.
And your wide receivers are hurting. Like your number 1 wide receiver is Allen Robinson. That is scary. Like I guess AJ Green when he comes back, but I don't know how long that's going to be.
No.
So I know you're probably freaking out a little bit about that wide receiver spot. So let's talk, man. Let's find a trade,
And then
we'll go to the champion himself here,
yes,
Chris.
I gave myself a C. You gave me a B.
So
Man,
hard on yourself,
It
man.
was tough, but it was really hard in the second and the fourth round there. It started off really well with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I reached for Chris Godwin because
That's-
I wasn't happy with the backs. I think Mac went right before me because everybody kept a running back. And I wanted to come back around and get myself another running back to help shore up Gurley. And I could not find one that I liked, so I
Should've
went with the
taken
opposite
Montgomery.
guy. I should have, but I'm just like, for some reason, I
was
just
so-
wasn't a fan.
Well, it was high.
It was a
but
little high in there, and I
You
was
had
like,
to reach for him if you wanted.
and I honestly, in my grading, in my tier system, I took Godwin probably a round or two early.
Yeah.
But looking at the turn, I was like, I'm going to take him. I'm not going to have another pick. till
It's
the
you
fifth
were in
round.
that position where you were going to have to wait like 20 picks until you picked again. So
Yeah, but having like Breida in there and Duke Johnson, Devin Singletary, who I took later, guys who are going to be
yeah, that's gonna
upside at the running back position.
You got
So-
good depth, so I think you'll kind of weather the storm all right.
And it's what I've done in the past. Sony Michel, Philip Lindsay as rookies,
Yep.
guys like that.
Fill
I
your
just
roster
bank
with
on
them
that.
rookie running
I
backs.
sure do. Trade bait later.
Yeah.
And then let's go really.
To your brother, the other Sean Rock.
Yes, we
the
gave
better
you
Sean Rock.
The
according
better
to him.
Sean Rock got a grade C. You weren't
Yeah.
giving too much. You and Leroyce, that was some tough sledding uphill there.
Yeah, I gave him a C. I'll talk a little bit to it. I was a little confused with why you went with so much off of your bench that you're gonna have to sit on your bench and you can't use. Like we're talking Melvin Gordon, who knows when that man's coming back. And then he had picked up Kareem Hunt. We were all kind of shocked on that one. To me, you're gonna have. I mean, week 10 is probably the earliest you can think about playing him. You got a bye week, and then you're not gonna play him that first week because you don't know what the Browns are gonna do. So that scares me.
And Golden Tate.
And then Golden Tate.
4 games.
So the big thing for Mike is gonna be he's gonna have to turn it on in the second half of the season because I think this first half is gonna be rough.
I like Carson Wentz. I like Leonard Fournette.
Mm-hmm.
I love Adam Thielen. He helped me out a ton last year.
I mean, his starting.
Tyler Lockett is great. Damian Williams, I mean, everybody hates it now that McCoy's
yeah,
there.
that kind of you didn't know that before, but
But, you know, it's like do or die. I mean, you don't win with the bench just sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
but the flexibility off of drafting, that is a lot of risk on the late end. It's almost confident you saying, I'm going to win these first couple of weeks. And then
Yeah.
I'm going to be that much better at the end. And that's why he calls himself the best Sean Rock. But, oh,
so
man.
prove us wrong.
Drafting
Mike,
that
and
way
I know
is-
you started
is-
at a disadvantage. So.
Yeah, it's so unheard of with that.
Mm-hmm.
But so we go from 9 from Mike to 10 in the captain himself in Miami. Are
Sorry
you
you're
safe
down
from the
here, Morgan. I know
hurricane?
you'd love for me to give you the approval, but
Captain
it's
Morgan.
a little rough here, seeing as you came off the worst team in the league.
You did.
I like Carry On. I think that was a great pick there. I would have loved to had him fall to me. I didn't think it was going to happen. You got a good kind of core to start there. Odell Beckham, Carry On Johnson, and Zach Ertz. Those are great starting in their position. T.Y. I don't think was a bad pick. And then I think it started to go south. I'm not a big fan of Derrick Henry. Kenyon Drake is kind of gross. Jordan Howard is going to lose his job pretty quickly. So the rest of your roster is where I started to get a little. I think you kind of picked it up in the end. Sterling Shepard and Dante Moncrief are great.
I like Robbie Anderson as a
Yeah.
pick, except he's a boomer bust guy and we're in a PPR league. You know, you're not
I think
getting
where you're
all
going
the
to
points
suffer,
there.
where you're going to suffer is if Carry On doesn't hit, then you're in big trouble. Like
Yeah.
Carry On has got to be a top 12 running back for you to have a team that's going to compete this year.
Gotcha. Then right below him at 11, we got Soul Juice.
Soul Juice, Andy.
Andy. That's the mystery of Soul Juice. That's who it was.
Yep,
Andy.
We found it out finally after much debate.
After looking at this draft, I think Andy's a Denver Bronco fan because he got 4
You think?
Broncos on his roster. Like,
The man
whoa.
likes his Broncos,
Which
apparently.
the gut pick was always
Unfortunately,
Bronco.
they're not that great.
Bronco. I know. I had Philip Lindsay last year. People are saying hold back on him with the workload and coming off some of those nagging injuries.
Yeah.
You drafted him really early. I like Deshaun Watson. Again, that was kind of an early quarterback thing, but he was a tier 2 QB. You had to
Yeah.
get him early, so I'm not going to knock him for that.
You got Tunsil now, so congrats. That's going to
Yeah.
definitely help Deshaun Watson's case for sure.
The running backs are not top tier. They're guys who are got to wait and see if Devontae Freeman come back full force. I like Lindsey a lot, but I just don't think he's going to be. He had a really great rookie year, and
Yeah.
I don't know about after that. It's okay that LaShawn McCoy at your flex. I mean, there's got to be a better flex option.
Yeah.
But your bench is full of I don't know. I put Emmanuel Sanders in there,
Yeah.
but you got a lot of I don't know. It's just it's not
very middling.
Yeah, not sexy there. I mean, Antonio Brown and Michael Thomas are a great receiver combo.
Yep. I think it's to him, kind of like I said with Carry On. For you, it's Philip Lindsay. If Philip Lindsay can be that RB2 for you, then he'll probably be all right. But I'm a little afraid of that Philip Lindsay stuff. I think that the draft capital is going to come into effect. This regime was not part of his breakout, so it's just going to be whoever's better, and Royce Freeman might be the better option. So,
gotcha. Last but not least, we go
dinner
rolls in Lewisland. Leroy's, man, I hate putting you all the way down here again, just like Mike was. Put a little disadvantage.
I'll let you go straight to it and throw the ultimate shade here.
Oh man, I gave you an F, man. 2 QBs close to each other. Lamar Jackson early. I was like, what in the world's going on? And then it's funny. It's the draft board you're throwing up there. I panicked. Taking a defense early. Receivers aren't that bad. But the running backs I'm a little worried about.
Yeah, with your draft, I specifically kind of followed your team a little bit.
We did.
Leroyce, and it was kind of the talk of the draft room. I loved your opening. Like sitting there with Mike Evans, Juju Smith-Schuster, Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper's okay. And then getting Evan Ingram as your tight end, I loved that. And then I don't know what happened, Leroyce. I'm not a fan of the rest of the draft here. Taking that defense, like you said early, you took Phillip Rivers and Lamar Jackson. You're not going to need both of those. Basically, I would just roll with Lamar Jackson, and then Phillip Rivers will be sitting on the waiver wire if he does get hurt.
Yeah, the only bench player I truly like is Jameson Crowder is a deep sleeper.
Yeah.
But the problem is that he's deep. Sleeper.
Yeah.
And then, everything else, and Eckler, I like Eckler, but he's going to split carries with Justin Jackson.
And he's just waiting for Melvin Gordon comes back, then you have nothing. So,
yeah, but I mean, you're projected to beat Tim here in week 1, but I'm just
not agreeing.
It was just a weird flow in the draft, a weird flow. But guys, as we rank those in there, throw us the hate in the group chat. I am expecting it. We embrace it. But those are our rankings 1 through 12 with our grades. Great draft. Love it all the time. Jake, who was there, commented how how fun it was there and who he thought was great and who he did not like. But he was paying attention, following our board. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
So.
All right. So you guys, good luck for the season. And everyone, let's stop Chris from winning this year. That's really how we're going to end this. So see you guys.
Don't let me get 4. See ya.